Hello everyone, I'm David Vaucher and welcome back to day 24 of my 6-month life transformation chronicle. It's a little nuts that we're at day 24 already. The month is just flying by, but here we are. So hopefully you have kept up with your steps. Hopefully you're making great progress. And I told you, 6 months is going to go by before you know it. So even if it's still a little bit of a hassle for you to take these actions every day, I think you'll be thanking me when it's all over and you've made a ton of progress. So I guess I'll just get right into it, and I'll start with an update from what I talked about in yesterday's video. So I mentioned I had a call, which should be really interesting. And it wasn't so much one of these interview calls, right? I wasn't asking about a job or a project. But basically, a CEO had reached out to me when the article first appeared and had said, my story is very much like yours. So back in the early 90s when I was 33, I also quit my job, but I got bored. And now I'm the CEO of a boutique consulting firm, which I'll add the commentary here. There's 40 people in this firm. So it's small, but I mean, it's big, right? So it was just really interesting that he reached out to me and offered some of his time to tell me his story. And it just underlines that finally, even though I don't have a steady project at this moment, although hopefully that's coming, I've gotten to talk to some really interesting people who all own businesses, have started businesses, and this is something I would not have gotten to do back in my old life. So I just have to keep believing like it's leading to something and just embrace the temporary discomfort of not knowing what's coming so that I can, really fully enjoy what I'm doing now and then leverage that for later. On that topic, I can get to the next thing, which I mentioned yesterday. I was going to a meetup, a Python meetup. It was great. The subject material was completely over my head. It was a numerical analysis toolkit, I think, for Python, and I am well removed from even my undergrad level courses back at Rice, so I did not get a thing. Well, maybe a little bit, but certainly not that much. And but the best thing was the people. So you always go to these, and my strategy is I don't want to talk to 10 or 20 different people. I don't want to hand out a ton of cards. I want to make a connection with one or two people. And sure enough, two guys right around my age. We got to talking, and they clued me into another meetup, which is happening today. So I had no idea this was going on. It's downtown, so very easy to get to. Perfect situation. So it's on data visualization and machine learning, two things I really want to learn about. Hopefully they'll come back so I get to deepen my connection with them. And on top of that, there's someone else who's attending who I wanted to reconnect with anyway. So huge success, very happy, and looking forward to seeing how that goes. One thing that's really neat actually is that, so I mentioned cards, my business cards are done. So this is the back of one, and I'm not going to show you the front because my phone number is there and I'm not quite ready to share that with the whole internet, but if we meet one day, I'll be happy to give you one. But anyways, I talked in one of the past videos, I think last week, about what's the balance between doing the traditional marketing things like a website and a card, and what's the return. And I'll tell you that having been to my first meetup with those cards, I'm glad I did it because, now I've got, if I introduce myself and I say, hey, I'm a freelancer, here's my card, it just makes it so much more formal, right? I don't think anyone's going to penalize you just for saying, I'll drop you a LinkedIn because we're in 2018. But it's nice just to say, like, here's my information. And on top of that, I think having the website does actually help. So I told you I'd share the information, and I'm ready to now. So it's just www.vaucherconsulting.com. I'll put the link down at the bottom. And I'm soliciting feedback from everyone. Now, two things I'll say. The first thing is I'm glad I did it because even the speaker, when I introduced myself afterwards, said, man, that's cool. Like, you have your email addresses, dvaucher@vaucherconsulting.com rather than Gmail or Hotmail or something like that. And so that just made me feel good that, I'm putting forth just an extra layer of polish, which was nice. And in regards to the website, I guess the other thing I'll say is typos. If you think a picture is too low resolution, that is totally on the table. I want you to call that out to me. What I probably won't do as much with is if someone says, your website's no good, here's 50 points you can do to fix it. What I'm looking for, and I've talked about this before, I'm just looking for something that sets a bar, right? I'm not trying to be super fancy because right now it's just me. I just want something that looks professional, correct, and gives people kind of an insight into what my interests are and how to get in touch with me. And it's not to say that I want to do a bad job. It's not at all like that. It's just that I think as long as everyone or the majority of people providing feedback think the website is good, then that lets me focus my energy on other things which will actively get me meeting people and talking to clients. So I think in hindsight, I'm really glad that I put a little bit of effort. Well, I don't even say, I mean, it's taken, a certain amount of time to get a good business card worked out and a website. But I think I'm glad I did it. So as long as I can get to a good baseline of polish, I'll be in great shape. The other thing I'll mention too, so you saw the back of the business card says Vaucher Consulting. Real quickly, because this video I think is running longer than they usually do, but I will say that it was never in my plan to start a big consulting firm when I left my corporate job. I didn't leave a consulting firm to start my own. But I just think that to the extent that right now I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, and I'm trying to put a certain level of polish out there, it just made sense to put that all under one umbrella. Vaucher Consulting is just the easiest name to come up with, and then just see what happens, right? So it just in keeping with putting forth a little bit of a layer of polish, and just saying just being able to show people okay, this guy probably knows what he's doing. It was just important to have everything under one umbrella, hence Vaucher Consulting. So the big takeaway from this is that I do want to meet more people. I'm really glad that the events have gone well, and I am glad I decided to put in the time to get some basic marketing materials together. So with that, again, I want to invite everyone to check out the site. If you have a minute or two, just tell me what your thoughts are. Would love to hear from you. Would also love to hear, as always, how you're doing with your comments down in the comment section. I want to remind everyone that even though it's day 24, we still got a long way to go till we get to day 180. So if you feel like you've let yourself go a little bit on those steps towards your goal, you've still got plenty of time to catch up. So thank you very much for listening the whole way through on this slightly extended version of the 6-month Life Transformation Chronicle, and I will check back with you all tomorrow on day 25. Thank you.